Hi there, I'm Sivin, and welcome to part one of our five-part beginner yoga series. Our focus today will help you become more comfortable with this mode of movement, and I will teach you some very basic asanas or poses to get you started. So, let's get on your mat. We will start on easy pose, Sukhasana. If you're new and you have tight hips, you can sit on a block or a yoga blanket or pillow as well. We're going to start breathing. You want to inhale and expand your diaphragm and exhale, narrow that. Inhale, try not to lift your shoulders and exhale, contract. Inhale and exhale. Just feel the breath moving around the solar plex area. We're going to drop our arms to the side and we'll start with stretching the left side of our body. Inhale, lift your left arm up and over the head, and exhale, lean towards the right. Imagine that you have a wall behind your back so you're not arching your lower back. Stay here, taking nice deep breaths through your nose, and you can press your right hand down to come upright. And we'll repeat the same thing with our right arm. So you reach your right arm as you inhale over the head, and as you exhale, you lean towards the left side. You can look straight ahead or towards the floor. It's up to you. Trying not to tense your neck is important, and keep your hips square. And push your left arm down and come upright. And now we're going to twist our body. Inhale, lift your left arm up. As you exhale, you're going to position that left hand over your right thigh. Move the right hand behind you. You can press your fingertips down. Using your eyes, you're going to look behind you. You want to keep your spine upright. Try not to lean to the right. And come back to the center. Same thing on the other side. You inhale, lift your right arm up. Allow that lengthening to give more space for your spine. Cross the right arm over the left thigh and move your left arm behind you. Press your fingertips down to the floor and exhale, rotate, look back without forcing too much. And come back to the center. Now we're going to move our yoga block or pillow if you had it aside, and you're going to come to your hands and knees. You want to keep your wrist under the shoulders and your knees under your hips and the spine as flat as you can feel it. We're going to start by inhaling to open the chest. You want to think of widening your collarbones to the side, and as you exhale, you press your hands and knees to the floor to round your back. Again, you inhale, looking out, and exhale, looking down. You don't have to do too much with your neck. It goes along with the spine. So when you inhale and look up, you don't want to crunch the neck in the back. You just want to feel it as an extension of your spine, which it is. And as you exhale, you round the back. And one more time, inhale, tailbone reaches back as the heart chakra goes forward. And exhale, you round your spine. Now, pressing that the left hand down, you inhale and lift your right arm up towards the sky as much as it goes without pushing it behind your back. You could tuck your toes under or keep your feet pointed. It's up to how your knees feel. And then you're going to thread the needle. So bring your right hand under the left arm. Keep your hips square. Tailbone is reaching back. You can adjust your left arm as you need to. And you can also use a yoga block here under your forehead if going to the floor feels too much. I'm doing it here so you can see it. You don't want to compress your neck into the floor. You want to keep space between each vertebra, and press that left arm down and come back up to all fours. And same thing, you position your right arm down. As you inhale, you lift the left arm up towards the sky as high as it goes without force. As you exhale, you sneak the left arm under the right arm And on this side, I'm not using the yoga block, so you can see how it looks. My tailbone is straight, reaching to the back, hips square, and my crown is long, and I'm not pressing into my forehead, so there's no compression in the shoulder or neck. And you're going to press the right hand down to come back to all fours. Well done. Now we're going to move our wrist a little bit more in front of our shoulders to go to our first downward facing dog. So before we do that, you're going to tuck your toes under and just practice pushing your hands down and reaching your sit bones back towards the sky and heel. Do that a couple more times so you feel the strength you're building on your arms. And then push the hips as high as they go. Think of your armpits facing each other. And here you do not need to straighten your knees. They can stay bent. If there's tight hamstring, don't force it. Now we're going to inhale and lift the right leg slowly and little bit back. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring that right knee close to your chest. We're going to plant the left knee towards the floor if it's hard to keep it off. And move your right foot in between your hands. You can also keep your hands on your blocks. We're doing a nice lunge position with our hands down on our blocks or up on your fingertips, stretching the front of the left thigh. And you're going to tuck your toes under on the left side and come up into a high lunge position. Here, if you can strain your knee, go ahead. If not, you can keep it slightly bit bent. No problem. And you move that right leg back and roll your shoulders back. Remember, the wrists are a little bit in front of your shoulders and push back into downward facing dog. With the next inhale, you're going to lift the left foot off the floor slightly bit behind you. And as you exhale, you're going to plant that left foot in between two hands. Again, you can keep the knee on the floor or off the floor during that transition. And then we keep the knee down, and your knee on the left side should not pass in front of your toes. So it's going to stay on your ankle or in the center of your left foot. And once you get comfortable in that position, you're going to tuck the toes under on the right side and try to lift the right knee off the floor to deepen that stretch without sinking into your shoulders. And slowly releasing and coming back to our all fours. And one more time, you're going to tuck your toes under to stretch your hips up. This is the third time, so you probably feel a little bit more comfortable on the hamstrings. But again, if you're not ready, do not strain your knees. Keep them slightly bit bent. And now we bend both knees down and come back to the floor into our twists. You're going to sit on both hips. You can use a yoga block underneath your hips if you need to. Right knee is facing straight forward and is between the two shoulders, and right foot is by your left hip. You cross your left leg over the right thigh. Your right arm can go under your thigh or over the shin bone, or you can lift the right arm up to cross the right elbow on the outside of your left knee. Again, use the left fingertips behind your back to press into the floor for a deeper twist. Don't stay there too long and gently come back. And you're going to go into the easy pose with the left leg forward, which is Sukhasana. And if you wish, you can walk your hands forward or put your elbows down or put your forehead down. You can always use a yoga block under the forehead if going down to the floor feels too intense. And we're just going to breathe here. Deep breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Giving into gravity, releasing the tension in your back and hips. And then bring your hands closer to your body. Push the floor to roll your spine up. And now we're going to do our seated spinal twist on the other side. You're on both sit bones, whether you're on the block or on the floor. Left knee is facing straight forward. Right thigh is over the left thigh. You're crossing your elbow on the outside of your right knee or holding onto your thigh. Right hand is behind you, tall spine, and twisting back without force as far as you comfortably can go. It might be very little at the beginning. Don't worry about it. More practice, better it gets. Again, with the right leg forward, you're going into Sukhasana pose and slowly walking your hands forward, either staying on your elbows or your forehead on the ground. Nice deep breaths. I recommend doing this flow every day or every other day to get comfortable, and you'll see the changes in your body. Whatever feels tight today may not feel as tight tomorrow. And slowly rolling up. And this time you're going to extend your legs in front of you. You can keep your toes pointed or flexed. You can use a pillow or blanket underneath your knees if keeping them straight feels too much. And now you inhale, extend your arms all the way up. And as you exhale, you're going to fold forward with the straight spine as long as it goes. And eventually it starts to round down and let it round. Now you're going to try to keep your upper body more passive if possible. I like to keep my feet engaged, whether it's flexed or pointed. But if it's too much, you can relax and be passive over there as well. And then slowly bring your hands closer to your hips, push the floor, and round your spine up. That was beautiful. And we're going to finish in a seated position. Here I'm using a yoga block so that it doesn't compress my knees. You can also use a pillow as well. Now we're going to inhale and lift the arms up all the way to the sky. Exhale, palms together, lower your hands in front of your chest. Namaste. Welcome to your first yoga class. Keep practicing this and I'll see you in our next segment.